Hey friends, here are a few things to highlight about what's going on this week at Emergence.
We're once again partnering with Star of Hope to feed hundreds of families in our area this Thanksgiving through something called Boxes of Love. They're due back by October 30th, and check out this promo for more details on that.
Boxes of Love is simple. First, you need a box, then you have to fill it with love. But how do you fill a box with love? You can. You can fill it with groceries though, so take the list that's on the back of your instruction sheet, buy all those groceries, and put them in the box. One thing that you don't want to buy though is a frozen turkey. Frozen turkey in the box, not going to work well when we open it up. So fill out the voucher that's included in your instructions, include a check for the amount of turkeys that you want, and you're good to go. So let's recap. Get a box, fill it with love, don't buy a real turkey.
Yes, and we have 2 more weeks to get those boxes back here so we can get them in the hands of families around the area in need of some love this Thanksgiving.
Also, if you have kids under 5 who have yet to participate with you in family dedication, our next one is scheduled for November 13th. If you would like to participate in dedication, head to the digital bulletin to sign up today.
And another date to mark down is November 20th. We're going to have an awesome night of worship together. There's more info to come, but start the countdown. It's going to be a great night. I really can't wait.
Can't wait. You can find out about all this and more by visiting our digital bulletin at news.emergencenj.org. And as always, let's keep loving Jesus, loving people, and plowing a counterculture. See ya.
All right, hey everyone, welcome back to Communities, and hope you guys are enjoying our study specifically of Paul's missionary journeys in Acts, and excited to see him out on mission, the greatest evangelist who's ever lived. And I love Acts 17 because 2 things really bubble up. The first is just Paul's commitment to, he's going to share the scriptures. As he reaches people, as he ministers to people, it's very word-driven. I love the Berean church. When they hear Paul preach, they go and examine what Paul said in the Word of God. And that's one of the things I love about what you guys are doing at community groups. As even discussions are happening and people are asking questions, it's always good to go back to, okay, but where do we see this in the Bible, right? Because sometimes people can get passionate about an idea or want to have a discussion about something that isn't really in the Word of God. And great group leaders like the Bereans go, okay, but what's actually in the Bible? What does the Word of God say? And I love his commitment to the Word. And just as a group, what does it look like for you guys to commit to the Word? And then the second thing I love that Paul does is Paul, when he goes into Athens, he doesn't just sit in the temple. He sees the idolatry. He sees the people lost and worshiping things like stones and rocks. And that doesn't just fill him with a self-righteous pride about what he sees. It actually moves him in love to go out into the Areopagus and begin to contextualize for them in ministry. Even though he sees them worshiping the stones, he's incredibly winsome with them. Even though he sees them doing something that's wrong, he still sees underneath it some spiritual longing. And throughout the conversation, he's trying to woo them along in order to present the gospel. I love how Jordan this past week shared some of our culture's longings and the things that people do in our culture to try to connect with the gospel. But ultimately, he does all that contextualization, not to be liked, not to fit in, not to just show he's aware of their culture. He does ultimately all of that contextualization to share the gospel. And sadly, as a result, and many of them laugh. Some do believe. Many of them laugh because the idea of a bodily resurrection for Greeks is just shocking. And so just really simple question, as you guys look out in our culture, what are things that break your heart right now? What are things that disturb you, that you see how people are hurting, you see how people are in pain, and yet how, like Paul, rather than sitting judgmentally and complaining about what people are doing or critiquing, what's it look like to be motivated by love and to go and minister to them, to ask the question, what are they longing for, to try to build a bridge, to try to connect in order to share the gospel. And hope you guys have a great discussion about that tonight. And more importantly, hope you guys take some steps out of this group, and maybe even a good challenge is, okay, what's a step of faith for us this week as we go out, as we try to contextualize our faith. Hope you guys have an awesome discussion. Look forward to seeing you soon.